moving into the meat of the paper, we have design decisions. And for the first introductory paragraph, don't really worry about that until you have written out all your design decisions first. Then you go back in and you write the introduction, which is maybe 2 to 3 sentences that either summarize your design decisions, provide a theme or some kind of interesting connection, anything that would help your readers to know before they go into your design decisions. Now, every single design decision must contain 2 citations from 2 different sources. It must be in APA formatting and in past tense. The majority of your paper should be in past tense. You might be tempted to write about something in the future. I'm going to ask you to push away that temptation for the sake of your readers and ask yourself if talking about the future or writing about the future is beneficial for readers who might be reading your paper way after whatever future you've written about, right? So just keep it all in past tense, and APA formatting requires past tense for your citations. Why? Because whatever you're citing was written in the past, and that's something you have to be very, very, very specific about. So in your design decisions, for your first design document, you're going to have 3 for your infographic. For your Pacha, you're going to have 5, and for your instructional video, you're going to have 7. And don't be scared about that number 7. By the time you get here, this is going to become so easy for you that it'll be a challenge, but it's not going to be as daunting as it may seem right today as you're watching this now. So let me talk to you about the 4 aspects or components of a design decision for these design documents in this class. Your first component is an I statement of your design decision, basically what you did. Example, I told a story. The second component is your first citation, and the citation is going to be something from one of your 3 required reading books, or perhaps another source, but you're going to mainly stick with your 3 required readings. And so you're going to find something, a fully formed idea that you're going to paraphrase that's going to justify your design decision. So if your design decision is I told a story, then you're going to find something probably out of Made to Stick, which is an idea written by that author which justifies or suggests that you tell a story in your instructional materials. Your third component is a second citation from a different source, probably another one of the other required reading texts that you have, or one of the optional reading texts perhaps. But the second citation needs to confirm and further justify your design decision. So the 2 citations, while they come from separate sources, they should both connect your justification for your design decision. And we're going to look at a really good example here in a second. And then for the fourth component of your design decision is going to be where you provide specific examples and describe specific examples that your reader can find in your project which demonstrate that design decision. Okay, so let's look at a fabulous design decision from a past student on a presentation about generations. Here's the design decision. I omitted on-screen text, right? So simple, it's beautiful, it's 4 words, it's very direct, it's concrete, it's not hard to understand, there's nothing confusing about it. I omitted on-screen text. That's one component that is done, and that's usually the hardest one to get done. There's a further sentence to kind of go into more detail. Instead of including headers on each slide to identify the generational category, I chose to incorporate a picture of the individual in the upper left corner so my audience would know who I was referring to. Okay. Then we have the second component, which is the first citation. Reynolds, 2009, and the year always goes after the author's name, claimed how too much text can be distracting to the audience, which may disrupt the learning experience. And then there's a page number where your reader can find the actual source of that citation. So that's the second component, which is finished. Now there's a third component, which is the second citation, which further justifies the design decision. According to Medina, year 2008, familiar images would be easily remembered. Page 233. It's a full idea, right? And it further justifies the design decision of telling a story or of omitting on-screen text. Then finally, the fourth component is where we can get a specific example of that design decision in action in that person's project. On slides 7 through 18, I used a previous image of my grandfather to make a connection for the audience between the traditionalist generation and the presented concept. Okay, so it's very straightforward. It's not very large. It's maybe 4 to 5 sentences max, okay? And then you're going to do that 3 times for the infographic, 5 times for the pacha-kacha, and then you'll add 2 more for the presentation. And those are your design decisions. And I recommend trying to knock these out as early as you can and use your group to help you flesh these out before you get into your peer review.